the hardest working podcast in Portland, Oregon, man.
Play no
Game.
What's up, you guys? It's Cartier Bizzle on the mic again, ready to drizzle.
What a sick intro.
Oh, speaking of sick intros, hopefully y'all like the new intro.
It's live?
Maybe. Welcome to the Play No Games podcast / show. I'm Cartier Bob.
I am Cos.
And I'm Arthur. Oh my god.
And we're back to give you that eargasm that you know you need to get through this tough week. We don't know if student loans are going to get taken care of. Hell, we don't know who's going to cross the border this time today. But you know what? You know who's going to be able to talk about it? Not America, but us. Anywho, if you like what we're doing, like, comment, subscribe. All that good stuff in the links below. But other than that,
now it's time to go.
yeah.
Time to go. You wanna introduce the first topic?
You know, the first way we get down in business is this Play No Games segment. It can be positive, negative, informative. It can be anything about your day. All you have to say is you're ready to play no games about this. Mr. Caution, what you play no games about?
Putting me on the spot here. Well, I'm playing no games about what? What are you gonna say?
That Mariners hat is kind of fire. I need to cop
Do you like that? Arthur said the same thing.
Hey, I need to cop that
It's
shit.
clean
Yeah.
as hell.
Yeah, it's actually if you want to know, I'll give you. It's part of the. No, I'll tell you afterwards.
Okay.
I'll tell you afterwards how you can get it. You can get any team you want.
Oh.
Really?
Yeah, you're a Braves fan, right?
Yeah.
Who's your team? I'll say the Mariners are my second team.
I actually don't have a team in baseball.
You should be an Oakland A's fan.
Mm-mm.
And that'll be what I'll play no games about. Why not?
Yeah.
The Oakland Athletic, man. Oakland has lost all their sports teams, and it's going to happen again. The Oakland A's will be leaving Oakland probably in like 2025, 2026 for Las Vegas. Maybe 2027, actually.
Again for Vegas?
Vegas, yeah. So the Raiders left Oakland for Vegas. The Athletics are leaving Oakland for Vegas. And then if you guys remember, the Warriors, Oracle Arena was in Oakland. Now it's in San Francisco. Technically didn't leave, but did leave. Went to the
Other side
across
of
the bay.
Money.
Wow.
So Oakland went from having 3 teams to 0 in the span of about a decade. There's actually this YouTuber. I'm so sorry, I can't remember his name off the top of my head. If you search up Oakland game vlog, he'll pop up. He's got 5,000 subscribers. Shout out to that guy. He vlogs. He's a season ticket holder to the Athletics. He goes to every game, vlogs every game. Die hard, is just absolutely crushed that the team is leaving. And he makes good videos, and I watch him. I'm not really a baseball guy. I like baseball for the culture of baseball. I think baseball stadiums, are the most pretty of all sports stadiums. I think they're really cool.
I think you're right.
I think that if it's the only arena where you also go and it's like you can't play football in a baseball stadium. It's so solely made for one sport, and there's so much stuff to do at a baseball stadium if you ever go, because it's a 3.5 hour long game. You can't just watch the game. But yeah, actually sitting down and watching baseball, don't do that very often. But that being said, the content around baseball I think is really interesting. So shout out to him. Sorry to all Oakland A's fans. That sucks. They're the new Seattle Sonic fans. They're leaving. Maybe one day Portland will get a team. Probably not, though.
I feel like baseball present, being there, goes by so much faster than you
That
realize.
is fair. Yeah, I went to a Hillsboro Hops game, which they're high A, right under double A. And I was like, dude, I got food, talked to friends, was watching the game, and all of a sudden it's the 6th inning, and I'm like, oh wow.
Mm-hmm.
So it does go faster when you're there. But there's a reason they have theme nights and firework nights and all this stuff. They got to get people in the door.
Absolutely, and they do. That's why they're one of the highest paying sports.
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
United States.
I mean, they have 40,000 seat stadiums. They have 100-something home games every year. Their partnership deals. There's no salary cap in baseball too. Shohei Ohtani's about to get $500 million.
You think so?
Yeah, like that's the range they're talking about for him because he's a free agent, like after the season, and it's like yeah he'll be in the 500 range,
Jesus.
which is insane.
And he just goes back to Japan and just kicks it.
After his contract, yeah. But the thing also in
After
baseball
the
is the
season's
stupid
over?
thing in baseball is they do these like 8 to 10 year deals that never work out. Like Albert Pujols had a 10-year deal, went to shit. Mike Trout has one right now, but the Angels suck, even with Otani, all this stuff. But yeah, they make money, man. Those guys make good money.
Hey,
Well, the top tier guys make good money. I think
Oh.
the middle to lower tier guys don't make as much as like an NBA guy does.
but they all make great money. Even the AAA teams make money. Even the AA teams. You got to understand they have.
I've
They
heard
have
playing
farm-
minor league baseball is tough. Like
So it's like a regular job. Like
Yeah.
you get paid like
you like
anywhere-
50K.
Yeah, like $50K a year. But you got to also understand you're playing baseball all year.
Yeah.
So like your travel's paid for, your lodging's paid for, everything's paid for. You're getting paid $50K to go play baseball and try and get yourself moved up. So it's like at the end of the day, think about working at your job, getting paid however much you getting paid, or getting paid that in 8 to 9 months playing a sport you love, soccer, all for 9 months. Think, yeah, everything else is paid for. Yeah. So it's like,
I'll still take my job, but I think the idea is nice, especially if you're younger. The idea
yeah,
is
no,
nice.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And even when you talk about that, they get paid farm, double or single A, double A, triple A,
Yeah.
minor leagues, and major leagues. So like they all get paid across the board.
Or honestly, like if you want to make money, there's money to be made in like Japan and the Caribbean. The Caribbean League is hot too, like Mexico.
That's where most of the people come from.
Yeah, like Trevor Bauer, who's a former Cy Young winner. Again, talking about baseball content, he's like, which that award goes to the best pitcher in the league. He's pitching in Japan right now because he got kind of thrown out of the league for cheating a little bit. But he makes YouTube videos of him like pitching in Japan, his like week routine of like when he starts, and like making vlogs of him just traveling around Japan. Like he'll like go to some amusement park or some like temple, and then the next day he'll go pitch a game and whatever. And he's making like, I think his deal's like $4 or $5 million a year.
So my cousin went. He played for the Dodgers, and so as he kind of fizzled out, he went and played in Japan.
Oh yeah,
yeah. He went and played in Japan for like 2 years, and he went and played somewhere else too. But like, there's leagues all over the world. Like,
did you like Japan? Did you like playing there?
Oh, he loved Japan.
Yeah,
He loved Japan.
yeah. They're crazy over there too for baseball.
Man, and they gave him so much love.
That's
Like,
awesome.
Gave him so much love. So, but it's like those little things like you're talking about. I mean, it's when it comes to sports in general, like worldwide sports, it's so much bigger. When you look at like basketball in China, when you look at like cricket in India, like you begin to see some of these other sports, volleyball and the stans region, right? Or even in China or Japan, like
rugby.
or rugby, like the sports. Rugby in New Zealand is like, it's similar to baseball. Like you have the All Blacks, which is like the top league, and then you have the Blues, which is like the minor league. Then you have it just keeps going down and down and down. And so it's America only sees like aspects of like worldwide sports, but overall it's crazy. Like it's absolutely crazy.
So only thing I will say is baseball has the best stadiums. Basketball is the best culture. Football is the best fans.
Which football?
No, you got to go to rugby games, bro. Go to a rugby game. I promise you, they're way better fans than football fans.
So that's all I will say.
Hot take. I get it. I'm gonna say soccer, aka footy.
Oh, okay, that football. Yeah.
I think they have the best fans.
Yes.
But they're in line with rugby fans too. I think. I think.
Man,
if you like, I know. Big game happened with like South Africa, New Zealand. South Africa whooped them. The Springbacks. They beat the All Blacks and Springbucks. My bad. And there was a big deal about that one.
When you look at they dress up in costume, like they come themed out in different themes. Like it's literally like a party. Like you literally come to support people bashing their heads in and getting on the field and going crazy. Like it's they might not fill out soccer stadiums like how soccer fans do, but the noise it's constant. It's constant noise. It's like it's always a ruckus in some facet.
There you go.
So.
All right, Robert, what do you play no games about?
I'm playing no games about restorative justice.
Bing bong boom bang boom bom bom.
Also, shout out, since we're talking about our YouTube history, I was watching Abba and Preach, and there was this video of, I think it was in the UK, this guy walks into like a cell phone shop, and like he's looking at cell phones, and literally he's like, let me see these 2 phones. He gets the 2 phones, and he like runs, and he like tries to open the door, and the guys would look at him because he's locked on the inside. And I was like, that's embarrassing. And the guy's like, just bring back the phones. He comes, puts the phones down, and then and I thought that was really cool. Right? Why it was really cool is the shop owners put the video out. That's how we were able to see it, and they offered this guy a job. They're like, hey. And I was like, whoa, that's really dope to turn this robbery into great promo and press for your religion and your business. So I was like, damn. And it made me kind of think about like, why do we not see that more? And I know like UK versus US, and I don't want to get too much, but I want to play no games of being like restorative. Like when I watch that, like I laugh because like, you know, that face of like, stupid. And like, it was almost kind of reminding me of this one guy who went to this nail salon, and he was like, he's like trying to rob the people, and they was just like looking at him being like,
just ignored him.
Exactly. So I was like, that kind of like made me believe in the world again, because like they had all right to press charges on the homeboy, and they were like, we'll offer you a job.
That's pretty funny. It's pretty dope.
Very cool.
I think a lot of those videos don't get posted. You see the other ones of like, can you find so and so or whatever, and it's like, but again, I think it goes back to this Americanized culture of like what we want to create in our platform. But it's dope. I think that I seen both. Well, I seen both those videos, and they're both pretty interesting. So it's funny.
Yeah, I think this would be like it'd be really good for like Adam 22. He was robbed, and he can find a new job.
Will not comment on Adam 22.
What?
Yeah, no, especially after the video I sent you. Oh Jesus!
You see the video of the monkey twerking on the girl?
Oh my god!
Yo, I sent it to you. Never mind, we're not putting that on here. But anyway, what are you playing on games about?
Yeah, Arthur, what are you playing on games about?
Costa's favorite sport, footy. There's a big transfer pool coming open, and your boy accepted it and pulled up on the United States.
He couldn't say no, could he?
Messi, which it's kind of old news now. He's playing for Miami. And what is your thoughts behind that? Because I know somebody who's directly working with it. But what are you guys' thoughts on him leaving European?
Yeah.
Footy and come
So in the world of footy, in the world of soccer, football, whatever you want to call it, when you leave Europe, it's kind of like the last couple years. That's the sign that like, all right, it's the sunset. It's the sunset of your career and all this stuff. And I think that's fair to say with Messi. He's going to be 36, I believe. Ronaldo left last year. He's 38. He's playing in Saudi Arabia. Bunch of guys going to Saudi Arabia now.
That's brilliant.
That's where the money's at. MLS has good money. Saudi has oil money. That's different. That's a different bracket, unfortunately. But good for them. But I think so. The thing about the Messi deal is, it's not just like, oh, Miami. Oh, I hate to say, Inter Miami. It's gonna pay. That's the team name, Inter Miami, because Internazionale, you know.
Oh.
This is also quick rant. Hate the MLS teams do this. It's Internazionale Miami, which takes it from Internazionale Milano.
Oh.
You have Real Salt Lake,
Yeah.
which takes from Real Madrid. Like Real
Yeah.
means royal,
Yeah.
Royal Salt Lake City. You have like Minnesota United, like United, like Manchester United is when two teams come together to make one team.
Yeah.
No teams came together to make Minnesota United. You know, like all these names have meanings, but in MLS they don't.
Yeah.
Like what's Real
That's
Salt
fun.
Lake? It's gross. It's gross to think about. Like that's why like I like the Timbers are just the Portland Timbers Football Club. Like that works. Red Bull New York. Anyways,
That's so funny.
anyways, but so Inter Miami is not the one paying Messi by themselves. And that's
Oh,
what I don't like about
absolutely
this
not.
deal.
Yeah.
It's like the league came together, said, "All right, we have David Beckham. He's the owner of Inter Miami. And he's the owner because he came like 10 years ago and got a discount on purchasing a team.
Mm-hmm.
So he's the owner, so he's the face of it. We have Adidas.
Yep.
We have Apple TV. We have the league. So the city of Miami, Apple TV, Adidas, Messi, all coming together essentially to make this deal happen. So it's not just the team paying it. Messi has shares in terms of streaming for Apple TV now.
Mm-hmm.
So he gets shares of streaming revenue. He also gets shares of jersey sales with Adidas and this stuff. And it's just, it feels way too corporate for me as like a football fan and as someone who loves like the nature of the sport. Like I know people that work at Adidas and they were doing this whole like celebration at HQ here in Portland about Messi coming. I'm like, guys, we're in Portland. Fuck Inter Miami. Fuck Miami. Why? Like this is like you are looking at it like it is such a corporate move because it is a big thing for Adidas and for the MLS to have Messi. But like me as a Timbers fan, I hope he tears his AC. Okay, I'm not gonna say I hope, but I don't want to see him succeed. I don't want to see Inter Miami succeed. I'm a Timbers fan. Why the hell would I want to see Inter Miami do good and have all the money and be like the face of the league?
Yeah.
See, so it's almost as if like in the NBA they're like, all right, well guys, all the good players are just gonna go to the Lakers now. So Lakers are just gonna have all the guys. We already feel like that's kind of the way, but like for then the NBA to promote it, and then for like Nike to be like, wow, look who the Lakers have now, and then for like I don't know who ABC was the rights to be like, oh, check out all the Laker games with now featuring Giannis and Luka and every star ever is now on the Lakers, and it's like that's what I don't like about the whole Messi deal.
Yeah. So word on the street is season opener. He's gonna come down in a helicopter.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. And so I hear you. I hear you. And it's we're getting to this like very corporate world where everything has to go through corporate lens. Yeah. And it's like we're putting these people up on pedestals and monsters as like these immaculate. Don't get me wrong, he's had a successful career, he's a great player, like, but I don't know, I feel like we're going above and beyond, like you're saying, for now him to represent a whole league.
Essentially, yeah, he's representing the MLS as a league, not Miami as a team. Mm-hmm. Because if it was just on Miami to be like, okay, yeah, we're gonna sign, they would have never gotten the deal done. Yeah. They would not have had the funds. He would not have been as interested. Like it took the league and Adidas and Apple all coming together to essentially pitch it to Messi, like them three at a table with Messi, to pitch him to come. Otherwise, the Saudi teams offered him like $500 million a year.
Oh Jesus!
Apparently, from this deal, he'll be making somewhere around like $200 million still. And I think he just likes Miami more and the U.S. more than like Saudi Arabia and that side of that side of politics.
I mean, if you making $500 million a year, you can take an airplane every day.
Yeah,
that's just saying you're so bored, you're not gonna be able to spend all your money, so you just gotta find unique ways to spend your money.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this. I've been patiently listening to both of you, and in this day and age of like promoting the player, right? Because I'm hearing like I don't know my soccer. I don't know my footy. Boop, boop. I don't know my footy like that. But like, aren't you kind of glad the companies understand a player's worth, or like they understood. So it took 3 companies, because we look at the NBA, we look at the NFL, where we're talking about like, hey, you know, it took forever for Lamar Jackson to get his deal. And it's kind of like we're at the point where the company should be working with the players in more partnership than anything. So it's kind of like, how can we fault him for getting what exactly he's worth?
But I think the difference between the Lamar Jackson deal and the Messi deal is what cost is saying alone. So Lamar didn't have to get ABC, NFL, and Nike and Baltimore Ravens to come up with a deal, right? It just was the Baltimore Ravens coming up with a deal.
And the Ravens played hardball with Lamar too.
Absolutely. And guess what he did when he first got his contract? He bought an ice cream truck and gave it to the neighborhood. Gave free ice cream to the neighborhood.
What a guy.
What a dude.
So he's expanding diabetes.
Yeah.
So like I'll say my initial reaction to it's like, okay, you know what, that's awesome, he's coming to MLS. But then the more you think about it, you're like, all right, me as a Timbers fan, someone who who goes to Timbers games, who sits in the army, who supports the team, it's like, where do we get the support though?
Yo, them tickets is about to be stupid.
Yeah, like okay, sure, I'll go watch when Inter Miami's in town and all that stuff. But then it's like, bro, if they're signing Messi, and then like even if you look historically, every time like an old European star has come, it's either to LA, to New York, even Seattle, man. Seattle got Clint Dempsey, and he played great for Seattle. Portland doesn't get those guys. I mean, still good. We're still good because
it's Portland.
Because it's Portland. But here's the thing: Portland has one of the highest payrolls in MLS. We're like top 10 payrolls in MLS. We're paying guys good money. We're just not we're getting South American guys that a lot of people don't know about, and that's fine. And we find success with it, but it's just we'll never get those guys, and that's fine.
I think one of my homeboys just got picked up by the Timbers.
Yeah,
we'll see. Hopefully, he's been practicing with them a lot. So
yeah,
we'll see.
Maybe T2, the academy.
Yeah, he's been doing academy stuff.
Yeah,
but he
we'll see.
So
what's up? First topic, bro?
I know, yeah, it is. We've been talking a lot about superstars. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
We've been talking a lot about Vegas, and you know who's got one of the best interim clubs down there? Usher.
Oh Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
Usher.
Yes.
How would we say Usher United?
Usher United.
Don't bring your girl around me. True play for real. Ask my niggas for real. Usher.
Ask my nigga for real.
So
that's hilarious.
Hey, some people don't know. So if y'all haven't known, but just brief story, Usher has had his Vegas residency.
Oh man,
in Vegas for the last 2 years, and I feel like, to be honest, it's been really dope. And
wait, at what hotel?
I'm not sure.
Cosmopolitan.
Whichever one.
At Cosmo?
Is it Cosmo?
I don't know.
No, I think it.
Facts Dragon.
MGM?
Which
or Cosmo?
Which Vegas casino / resort does Usher have his residency at? Whenever you get a chance, thank you.
Yes. So he has his residency, and I feel like it's really cool because a lot of people get to see what we saw growing up with Usher and how much of a talent he is and how much he would body Chris Brown in a versus. Usher would destroy him, and
I would take him over Chris Brown.
Exactly.
I mean, you got to think about his generation. He has 20 plus years of material.
Exactly.
Like, that's crazy to even think about.
So, as well as Usher being a great performer, a great singer, a great talent, he's also got one thing on his resume that doesn't disappoint. He's
Menace.
He's a home wrecker. Oh no. Everybody's been talking about the Usher Keke Palmer thing, and I'm glad that we're one of the last shows to talk about it because we get all the information. So, AJ, Cos, you and your girl, y'all bought tickets to see Usher.
Yeah.
And you sit in front row. And Usher comes down and goes, "There goes my baby." My question is, and he starts serenading your girl. Mm-hmm. What are you doing?
Me? Yes. First? I'm grabbing her. I'm sorry.
Misogynistic.
Yeah,
What-
call me what you will.
Yeah. What are you doing?
Me? I'm gonna let her decide.
Oh, and if she grab his hand.
Oh, well then she gonna grab his hand and stay with him.
So
I mean this. I think going to, and we'll go into it. Go ahead.
Okay. So the reason why I bring this up is there's been a lot of incidents of homewrecker Usher. Now, at first I was with Usher because breaking down really quick the Keke Palmer situation. So Keke's with her ladies. Usher comes in. Usher, at his defense, he doesn't tell her. He's like I would say like about 2 feet away. Keke embraces him, starts dancing upon him. Her man gets upset and then writes a very scathing message on social media and says, "You're a mom, you can't wear that." So
He said something about like something like it was the dress or whatever.
exactly, but we all know it wasn't the dress. It was.
Usher.
Thank you. Good Lord.
Dime latex? No, I'm just
Yeah.
Confirmed on both Wikipedia and Park MGM's website. Yes, Usher is a resident at Park MGM.
At Park MGM.
Yeah.
They got
Okay.
Usher at Park
They got
MGM,
Usher
really.
as of 2022. Yeah, he was at Caesar's Palace before then.
Oh, okay. I
Oh,
was
the
way
downgrade.
off.
Caesar's bigger, that's all I'm gonna say.
So,
Park MGM's fine. Park MGM's fine.
the reason why I want to bring these 2 points up is because there's this big social media flood, a hoopla about like what should you do when you go to a concert when you're with the significant other and about respecting boundaries. Now, there's 2 parts to this, and the reason why there's 2 parts to it is what a lot of people I feel like do not know is Keke responded to her man by saying, "I'm gonna do what I want," respectfully, but a lot of this stuff was played out over social media, and then what a lot of people don't know is she kept it going, being like singing Usher songs, them not following each other, and then now they're back together, allegedly. But I guess the bigger question is, one, we can talk about Usher. I feel like Usher has lots to do with this, but with this whole scenario and situation, I'm pretty sure y'all were inundated with this. What do y'all think about this?
I
Was
can
Usher
start.
wrong? Was Keke wrong? The
so-
boyfriend wrong?
But there's another Usher situation, right? The Kyle Kuzma situation. Right?
Oh, I was gonna bring that up. Yeah,
Oh, okay. Well, I kind of jumped into.
no,
it.
it's okay. It's
Well,
okay.
I just want to compare the situations, right?
Go ahead, there.
Kiki's with her ladies is one thing. Yes, I understand in aspects, whatever, but the situation setup is different, right? But the reaction ultimately should have been the same. You know, Keke could have danced with Usher, whatever. They might be friends, whatever the case may be, but not in a sense of like grinding up on him, whatever the case may be. Maybe she just do the 1-2 bop, whatever. And sat back down. I think that would have been more respectful in that facet. But in the same sense, he did it. He tried it again, and Kyle Kuzma's girl jumped into her lap. Jumped into his lap, which to me is when I go back to Costa's point. I'm not pulling her. If she gonna jump in my lap, okay, cool. That's respect. But ultimately, Usher is who Usher is. He's an R&B singer, so he is singing to the ladies. Is it his intention to go steal your girl?
Yes.
Maybe.
Homewrecker.
Maybe. But at the end of the day, too, it's we always talk about
How
it
old
goes
is
in
Usher?
both directions.
Old enough.
It goes in both directions. It's a lady's choice to pick, and it's Usher's choice to pick who he wants.
Okay, yes. And this goes to the day-old question of love and respect, right?
Absolutely.
Where, like, we all have talked about, like, oh, let me get that pass if this happens. If, Tessa Thompson talking to me and, we in Creed 5 and, Michael B, make a mistake, it's almost kind of like we're in a day and age of, like, how can I still show respect when you're not there? Because it's all about individualism, liberation, but at the same time, like, you do stand for something. Like, I know we were talking about the OnlyFans stuff. I actually am not gonna lie, I was listening to a video of OnlyFans model talk about my son looks at me differently now that he knows my past, and I was like, told you. He's like, my life is affected. Told you. Anywho, all I'm just saying is it's about, like, you can still have your individualism, but at the same time, how can you still respect your partner? Because I'll say this off rip, how homeboy was even talking to her like via social media, that was mad disrespectful. That's stuff you handle at home, but at the same time, right?
Absolutely.
That's what I had the biggest problem with. That it should not have been social like that.
But we're in a day and age where
But he probably felt like he had to defend himself, right?
that's
That's the problem.
and like that's the part where I feel like that's not getting communicated. Where I feel like if Usher didn't do the thing, if I feel like this is what I want to say, if Usher didn't do what he did like, repeatedly, I would say Usher really wasn't intentionally doing that shit on purpose. But the fact that he's continually doing this stuff and he's knowing what he's doing makes me them like, this is a test. Like, yes, I know this is great marketing for your show, but like the end of the day, you know you fucking with these people.
But at the end of the day, it's Usher being Usher. He's singing to ladies. He's not gonna go sing to some fellas. Like,
That's true.
like he's singing to the ladies.
Why
So
can't he?
If he's gonna go serenade some ladies, because maybe that's not what Usher prefers.
Why can't he let it burn on some men?
Well, that's his choice. That's not. I don't know.
Okay.
His choice. Whatever. But for me,
He can't. He couldn't compute that.
no,
There goes my nigga.
There was a whole lot there. It just like completely turned me to the left. I was like, wait, time out. Wait, hold up.
I'm making for it.
No, absolutely. But like, I mean, it goes back to like the Chance the Rapper situation, right? Like,
Ooh.
right? He goes to Carnival, is enjoying himself, dancing up on some lady, and he gets backlash, even though his woman's like, go have fun. Like, and it was like backlash on social media. Like it was, and to me, that's what that reminds me of. It's a very similar situation in a sense. Like,
The thing about the whole Chance the Rapper situation was he also made a whole album about how much he loved his wife. And then he goes and does that versus like Keke's not even married to that guy.
but at the end of the day, like,
Keke, do you love me?
yes,
Keke Palmer relevant?
yeah,
Is she?
yes.
I always grew up knowing
Yes.
her. She was on like Disney Channel, right?
She
Kinda,
still
like
does.
semi.
She still does so many movies, and
Did she?
Yeah.
Was she like spelling bee, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
The key
So,
was the key
that's
was
a
the
good
B. She was spelling USHRRA ONG. Let me
That's a
tell
good
you
movie.
one.
That's a really good movie.
But even with that situation, like, we don't know the conversation that happens at home, right? We don't know what the freedoms of that person is to be able to be, right? Wifey could have been like, yeah, bro, go have fun. Like, go enjoy yourself as long as you ain't out here fucking on these girls, which in Carnival, that is a thing, right? They come and dance upon you. That is a thing. Just like I learned about in the Boston Marathon, when you get to, there's an area by Boston College, you kiss the freshmen. Like, it's a thing. Yo, I gave the same look when the person
Open
told
up
me.
FBI.
Like, you run down, and most of the time it's women kissing women,
Fire.
but you know what I'm saying? It's a thing that these people do at Boston College for the Boston Marathon. As you run by Boston College, there's a whole bunch of young ladies who have signs that say "kiss me," whatever, and people stop and kiss them, and then they keep running the Boston Marathon. Like, so it's like we've created this culture of promiscuous extension of like freedoms when it comes to relationship. We don't know what's on at home. We don't know what wifey's telling husband. We don't know what Keke Palmer gets told in one incident, and now, you know, someone got to defend themselves, and it makes the situation look different. Like, and I think that is, for me, is where I think we get lost in. Is like we get lost in trying to solve problems that we don't even know any of it.
So I feel like the rule is if you do it publicly on social media, you are asking people to make opinions. Like, it's no matter what. Like, if you make it public, people are gonna have opinions about it.
Oh no, absolutely.
So my thing is, we're like, because this is where we gotta come down on homeboy too as well. Where it's like, he was posting her twerking, right? Or I don't know if you knew that or didn't know that, but like he was also posting her like twerking.
Chance?
No, not a Chance. I'm switching up back to Keke's baby daddy, right? Where it's kind of like the thing where a lot of people lose me is like you like want these traditional values, right?
Yeah.
Or you want this certain type of treatment, and how people respond lets me know what they're not talking about at home.
Mm-hmm.
Where I feel like you should already have those conversations where like I know sometimes I'd be joking around, but I'd be like, yeah, you know, you do that to me at a concert, you know, funny hypothetical wink wink. You know, my girl know that's a problem for me. And like, and this leads me to the ultimate conversation of insecurity, where like I feel like how we view insecurity is like, yeah, there's nothing wrong with being insecure, where it's kind of like, yeah, I find it, we'll just say, I don't say offensive, I would say I find it disrespectful that, you know, you don't want to make me feel comfortable. And sometimes I feel like when people are like taking feeling comfortable to be like unreasonable levels, where like, oh, you can't wear this because I feel uncomfortable, being like, all right, what's a happy medium where it's like I'm butchering it. It's like a happy medium of like, how can I still let you be you, but also can I be comfortable? And I think that's the aspect that's not talked about, because I don't know how many times, like when you admit that you're insecure about something, it's liberating, where it's kind of like, how can we work with this? How can I reassure you that I still care for you, but I can still be on a ladies' night, you know? Or like, you don't have to be a nun, but like, by George, like if Usher is singing at you, can you not wrap your arms? Like, you see how she was looking at him? I would jump to the TV.
44. That's his age, by the way.
44?
Looked it up, yeah. Now the question remains: Would you let your girl go out girls' night to an Usher concert?
At this shameless moment, so I won't cut it out later in the future. If you haven't, listen to the Backseat Critics. They're a great movie review podcast.
You're now listening to the Backseat Critics.
There we go. All I'm saying is, I spell my own name during the Usher song. I say, oh, damn. I don't want to say my regular government name. I was going to
spell another name.
Spell your name during
That's
the
fine.
Usher song.
Spell my name.
We got CASIANVA.
That's off.
I don't know.
No, it's CASIAN.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know how to spell your fucking name.
LOL.
I tried to make it like, anywho.
Anyway.
I just want to take you to a place that's nice and quiet.
Oh my gosh. Anyway, so
Yeah. Okay, guys. So our boy Zion finally said some stuff.
Oh wow. Okay.
I sent it to you. But essentially, a quick summary of it was he was on Gil's Arena, which is Gilbert Arenas', I guess you could call it podcast. Seems almost like a TNT production. But essentially, Zion gets kind of honest on there, talks about his weight, injuries, and kind of really specifically talking about how, when he came into the league, he felt, especially after he signed his contract, he felt like, he had all the money in the world, could do no wrong. These, had injuries, so then he kind of just ate however he wanted to eat. City kind of treated him well, this stuff, and it's kind of led him to where now it's like he knows like he can't be like that anymore. He knows he's got to clean up his act. So he's been, he cleaned up his diet, which he said was a really hard thing for him. And then specifically just getting back on the court, being healthy. And I don't know, as myself, as a Zion fan, I'd like to hear, I like to see that and hear that. I think the league is better when Zion's playing because he's a fun guy to watch. But I don't know. We'll see. Maybe too many injuries already. Maybe it's just piling up.
But I think I have to appreciate the fact that he understands, right?
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
He's, what, 20 years old? 21?
He just turned 23, I believe.
Oh, shoot. He's been in the league that long already?
Yeah. 2019.
But, I mean, they say after 3 to 4 years, you usually learn, right? Like, they say you usually learn
that
the
point.
league by then. And I think it's a tough pill to swallow when you're watching for so long, right? Like, he hasn't really got the the tenacity to play. So I respect him for talking about that. I respect him for actually understanding, becoming like a vet in the mindset of like what he has to change about himself, and hopefully like he can get other vets around him to really push him in that fact. And I think CJ getting on his case is big time for him. Yeah, even though he might not like it now, I think that is why the mindset shift has been so important for him. Even though people don't understand CJ, but I think CJ is a leader in a different facet. Like,
CJ's public enemy number 1 in Portland right now, so I don't really want to.
Lead the Blazers.
I don't want to touch
but
on.
That's fine.
I get it.
I think Portland also gave the world to Dame too. So at the same extent, it's like,
yeah, I agree with that. Say more.
They rolled out the red carpet for Dame, and CJ had to play back shadow. He had to play Robin. So it's
because he loved it. He loved that role.
He clearly didn't, because when he went to New Orleans, he became instant captain, leader, and a star.
He's the oldest guy.
But he became an absolute star on their team and helped them make a push in the playoffs. So it's like, and I'm not a big CJ fan, but he really changed the face of New Orleans down there when it came to basketball.
I think we got this whole Moriah Mills, Zion, baby mama thing wrong. See, Zion needed some order. And you know what Moriah did? She's like, I'm going to bring some order into your life.
I'm going to be the worst thing you'll ever see.
No, she was like, I got something better than Willie Green getting on that clipboard for you. That's right. She's like, this is what you're going to do. In 9 months, you're going to have this child. We're going to blow up your relationship. You're going to be with me. I'm going to stop OnlyFans. And then,
get your name tattooed on my face.
Exactly. Like, she's really teaching him.
Wait, what?
Exactly, yeah.
Is her name?
She has Zion right here.
Zion.
Oh, Jesus
The
Christ.
Pussy Destroyer.
On that right cheek, baby.
I'm just saying.
You guys see that meme of Zion going, that picture?
I saw him in that goddamn Sprite commercial, and I was like,
Oh,
I said,
when he's on the couch?
yeah, I was like, is that how it happened?
Huge. That nigga was huge.
I was like,
commercial.
I was like, sorry, is that how it happened? And like, I'm not gonna lie, because like, let's keep it a band, you guys. Women are important creatures in our planet that we live on, and the pathway to becoming a man is mistakes with women. So sometimes the biggest mistakes are given to the most toughest soldiers. So Zion,
hallelujah.
Exactly. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. I'm talking about the newest Sprite one, the newest Sprite commercial.
Oh, I haven't seen that one.
He's on a newer Sprite commercial.
Oh, he looked like a bowling ball right there, bro.
So I've been saying,
he was
like,
huge.
She's in his life as a blessing.
Blessing and a curse.
Exactly. So maybe, because in a few moments she's gonna like do the Black China thing and stop doing
this photo. This is the one I'm talking about.
Jesus Christ. Toss that shit over.
When there was like Victor Wembanyama's sister, and this was like the photo.
Yeah. Look at this. He definitely was like, hey, baby. That's what he said after he videotaped it.
I'll send it. I'll put it in the chat.
So no. Okay, let me stop fucking around. But no, I actually, parts of that I was kind of being serious, where it's kind of like, I feel like as a pathway as a man, I feel like we make mistakes. And like, to be honest with you, I remember when I wasn't that smooth and I had to like fumble and make mistakes with a lot of women. And like, sometimes the mistakes aren't as big or small. Where like, I had to eat a pizza dinner. This nigga he got to make a child and forge a relationship. So it's kind of like,
sometimes they say that. They say sometimes that happens. It takes kids for people to grow up.
Man, he's one big Oompa Loompa.
He'll get fit, and we'll see those 360 dunks.
Yeah.
It'll be all good.
He'll be posterizing on Fisher Price, be like,
exactly.
So
my topic is this whole Multnomah County drug situation.
Yes. Wait a second.
I don't
know.
I don't know what this is.
So Multnomah County, well, they paused it, but they originally were giving opiate users straws
For people who don't know, this is Portland metro area.
Yes, Portland metro area, homeless folks who are drug users, they're giving them straws and aluminum foil to continue to use.
Sick.
And so they've recently paused it, but it was something that got approved by the city to continue to be done. And for me, it just goes to show Portland's leniency to drugs as a whole, period. And I think that's why our population of houseless folks is starting to become a little bit worse, because we are lenient to the fact to allow folks to do drugs and be on the street and give them opportunities to when we don't give a lot of opportunities to working folks, which is crazy to even think about as I say it. But there's a lot of homeless folks. I must say that not all homeless folks are drug users.
True.
But for the ones that are, I feel like they have more supports and more opportunities to use legally than regular folks have to get things they might need financially.
I have 2 points. My only 2 points to this is why I got paid 15 cents for a bag now, and they get free materials.
They get free straws.
They get free materials to be Dexter's laboratory in my city, and I gotta at the end of the register they gonna be like paper and plastic. Like that's 10-15 cents. So that's that's one thing I had to say. But my point that I truly want to make when I'm more serious is I feel like those harm reduction modules work when we have sustainable systems.
Absolutely.
Like when we don't have a sustainable system paired with harm reductions as like second and third dairy like things, we can't have a harm reduction process without the other. And I feel like that's the one thing that Portland does. Like we want to do the second and third thing rather than the first, whereas like, can we get the houses?
Why do you think so, Robert?
Huh?
Why do you think so?
Oh man, we're getting political.
It's almost like it's cheaper, right? And just easier.
It's like my whole gripe is like I feel like a lot of politicians are lazy,
especially in Portland, right? Especially where we have one of the highest income tax bracket, like for the country, and then our public roads are caca, our public transport's caca. We have homeless, and then you're like, try to follow the trail, and you're like, wait, where's this money going?
It's high into.
Makes you start thinking.
But I really think it's high into allowing the freedoms of those. No, like again, I'm not trying to bash houselessness, but like there's a lot of houselessness that has continued to get worse, and the overall effects in Portland is that we just let them be. We give them what they want, give them what they need, and let them be. And it's like, yo, like I pay taxes for this. Like you're saying, I pay taxes for this. Y'all take mad money out of my check for this, and this is how we have to continue to play affected by it.
And then it's also the other states that are also send their houseless people over
Absolutely.
here because they're going to be treated better. And like if your house is in Boise, they'll shoot you.
Jesus Christ.
If your house is in Portland, they'll give you a straw and tinfoil and whatever and help you out. The only thing I'll add to this is if you guys want to watch another YouTube recommendation, if you guys want to watch another good video, it's called I Investigated the City Where Every Drug is Legal by Tyler Oliveira. He's like a guerrilla style reporter, and he does these type of videos. But he went like around Chinatown and under the bridges and all this stuff, and like spoke to the mayor of a houseless community and all this stuff. And it's an interesting video. I'd recommend it. It's a good watch.
Well, you did the funny, so I'll do the. I would just say once again, I feel like the conversation. There's no one true way to really fix houselessness. I feel like we collectively have to pick something, and when I mean pick something, not a second or third dairy thing. Harm reduction works better when we have a sustainable system, and the system we have is not sustainable to help the people. Because I'll say the house people who are houseless, I would say a good chunk of them don't want to be houseless. It's just like, how do you get your needs met when the system is giving you breadcrumbs and you just need a whole loaf? So, yeah,
Sick.
Anywho, well, this has been
Can I just quickly add, most of Portland's tax revenue, aside from like public welfare, which who knows where that goes, the second highest is for education, and we're 41st in the country as far as education, but that's our number 2 top expenditure for tax revenue.
What's number one?
It's public welfare.
So wouldn't houselessness be under public welfare?
I would assume so, and that's why I'm like, I don't know where exactly that is going, so I don't know what that entails.
Interesting. Sounds about right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
very quickly. I will say this story, and then we'll end. So I remember going to, I'm not gonna say the high school because it's got enough hype around it, but I remember
Jefferson High School.
I didn't go there. Anywho, I remember. You racist? You might think all the black people go there.
No, I just
Because I was valedictorian Jefferson High School.
That
Oh,
was
valedictorian,
that was a lie. Yeah, I lied.
2010 valedictorian.
Whoa! Long story short,
2010 Jefferson High School graduation class. Look it up.
Anywho, shout out to my old English teacher. I remember being in high school, and there was one kid in our class who couldn't read, and
In what grade?
high school, and like he made sure he how you get in reading circles, like, oh, goes AJ, there goes
Popcorn.
CB. And then it would get to cost because he couldn't read. You usually skip over that person. My English teacher didn't give a fuck. Made him read. He'd be like, the cow jumped over the moon. And we were all dicks. We were like, we would laugh. And then one day he's like, I hate this. He's like, every time I go to my auntie's house, she makes me read. We were all assholes. We laughed.
You still are.
I am. But it's like, shout out to my English teacher because he knew Portland public schools wasn't doing shit. And just like the kid's auntie, I know he was embarrassing him, which probably didn't help, but he was making homeboy read. Now, allegedly, as we progressed in high school, not at the school you thought we were at Cleveland. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm valedictorian Cleveland High School.
No, you're not.
Anywho.
Yeah, so Cleveland's better?
Huh?
Cleveland's a better high school?
Absolutely.
I
not.
went to Grant. Valedictorian Grant
Yeah.
2010.
Anywho, Grant's better.
Grant, hell no. I love the
Jefferson.
Welcome to the. This has been the latest installment of the Play No Games podcast. I'm CB.
Before you exit stage left, make sure you like, subscribe, hit the bell, and hopefully it's been enjoyable. This has definitely been the Play No Games podcast. That is
Goss.
And I'm Arthur, and that's him. And we out.
Probably wondering if I think of you. Sorry, I'm for the bag right now. Yeah, I'm for the bag right now. Yeah, for the bag that I never had. Yeah, you probably mad right now. Yeah, I got a 2-piece now. Shit, I think they call them groupies now.